Today I wanted to give you a really good run through on the Snow Peak IGT system. Some of the updates they've done recently, like this one here, which is the collapsible system versus the frame that they've been making for a number of years. So this one here that I've got on my hand is the IGT4. They were also doing a 3, and then occasionally they did a little 2, which was all the way back here. I'm going to show you what a unit means, what you can do with it, and blow your mind a little bit with the amount of configuration that you can do with this system. You can really customize it for exactly how you want to camp, cook, and really enjoy the outdoors. This is the IGT4 that I'm holding just here, and this is the old standard frame that is fully rigid. It's just a block. It's really nicely made. They still make these, so it's not something that's being discontinued. So this is one way you can set up the IGT system, or you can go for the new collapsible system that I've got here. So this frame comes into 4 pieces. It's much more compact and it's easier to store in the back of a vehicle. So this is the IGT3 packed up in its bag, ready to go. I'm going to show you how it is assembled and what we can do with the whole system. You have to hand it to Snow Peak. When they design and make something, they do an amazing job at it. The attention to detail is just brilliant. Each corner has this locking mechanism that holds the side rails together. It's on a little spring with a thread, and each side locks into its corresponding piece. Now, it's not quite as rigid as the standard IGT frames, but it's pretty close. There's very little movement in this frame. Really good. I think the best place to start with trying to understand what you can do with the Snow Peak IGT system is to understand what one unit is, or what they refer to as one unit. So the barbecue box that we had in before, that takes up 2 units of space and had 1 unit spare. Something like the flat burner just here, it's a gas stove that inserts in, and that's a 1 unit component. You've then got half units. So I've got just a stainless lid here, and on the end here I've got a stainless lid, but under this stainless lid I've got a box, stainless box, that's a half unit box, and inside that I've got all my cutlery and other things. And then you can change that configuration around. So, if you want to move your stove up into here, you can do that. You can really move things around and mix and match as much as you like. I just want to cover off about Snow Peak gas burners and the Australian marketplace. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to sell the Snow Peak gas burners. Every gas appliance that's for sale in Australia has to be approved by the Australian Gas Authority. That's a process that Snow Peak has not gone through yet, maybe one day. So at the moment you're going to have to look at sourcing these from somewhere outside of Australia if you want to get any of the Snow Peak gas appliances to go inside your IGT system. We'll talk about add-ons to make this a larger system. What I've got here at the moment is the IGT regular table, which adds on by the side of this on these neat little hooks. It just slides itself in. If you want to customize this to fit your campsite, you want it to curve around yourself, you can get these sections. They are a left or a right, so you can have it curve around this way, or you can have it curve around that way. Then you can put the table on the end of that. Each section hooks on with just these clever little hooks and just 2 sets of legs. So you're not needing 4 legs for each piece that you add on. They just hook into themselves and then join onto the next part. So now we've covered off briefly the types of configurations and what a 1 unit is and how you can really make it your own. Snow Peak really take this to the next level, and that next level is leg height. You can buy 4 different size legs. You've got a 300, a 400, a 660 and an 830. And what we're standing in front of now is the 830. So this is your standing height. If you want to cook at this height, this is the way to set it up. I'm going to show you a couple of the other configurations as well. Okay, so these are the 660 legs. As you can see, I've used the IGT height adjusters, which means that it can drop down while still supporting itself. IGT adjustable, you can use it with the 400s down to 300s, the 830s down to 630s, and the 660s down to 400 heights. And again, we're not adding more legs, we are adding another function. So we've got the 830, which we're full standing height here, and the 660. And the 660 is perfectly fitted to join with the Snow Peak red chairs. So really nice, dining table height. So if you want to set up like this, yeah, nice setup. 2 people will fit, 1 person on each side, and you've got your cooking area just here. Really nice setup. Each of the IGT legs have a micro adjuster. So there's a screw and a little foot on it. There's a reasonable amount, there's a good 50 mil of adjustment on the bottom of each one of these legs just by turning the screw. All right, so this is the 400 leg height. It is probably my favorite height. It allows me to use one of these low chairs. I can still use it as a table if I wanted to, or I can eat on my lap. It's a pretty lazy way of cooking. It's great, you're not stood up. Everything's at the height of which you want to be able to cook. It's really good. I also found this when I had younger kids, a really fun height for the kids. And what I found with the girls when they were younger is that by setting our system up at this height when we were away camping, they were really able to interact with the stove. And if we were cooking something on the stove, they were able to walk up when they're only this high, and it was at their height. It's a lot of fun with your children to be able to cook and have everything at their scale. I don't own a full set of the 300s and I don't use them, but I do own a full set of the 400s because I love being set up this way. I really like being able to put it in the back of the car. It doesn't take up space like the fixed IGT does. The IGT Collapsible, absolute game changer for me. It's a system that I will continue to use for a long time.